Welcome to News Kids Can Use. I'm Tori Ogawa.
I'm Emin Rogers.
And this is the show about all the weird, wacky, and straight up strange things that explain what your grown-ups are freaking out about lately. Now, in today's headlines, we have to talk about some tragic news that might be hard for people to hear. So this might be a good time to either pause and skip ahead or get a grown-up that you trust to sit with you and you can talk about these kind of difficult subjects.
And if you're worried about your own mental health, you're being really stressed lately, you've noticed that you felt down for a long time, that's a really important thing to talk to a trusted grown-up about as well. Let somebody know how you're feeling. So for our first headlines, we do have to talk about some really serious and violent events that have happened lately. There have been 2 mass killings, one in Georgia, one in Colorado, in which adults got a hold of some violent and scary weapons and they misused them immediately, and they hurt a lot of people and several people are dead. And we need to talk about this because it kind of connects back to our previous topic of anti-Asian racism, and because when things like this happen, everybody wants to know how we can make it stop.
Now, these violent attacks have been happening for a long time in our history. Different people have ideas about what solutions addressing these violent attacks. Some people think that it's addressing getting access to those weapons. Some people think we need to help those who use the weapons. And so we all have different solutions, but no one knows what the best way is to address these violent attacks.
And the first thing right now is, of course, that the victims and their families are hurting. And unfortunately, it affects people disproportionately. It affects people more who are more vulnerable. So women, people of color, poorer people. And that's really a problem.
And the thing is that these attacks make a lot of us not feel safe going to grocery stores or going to school and a lot of the places that we should feel safe going to. And so this is a big problem, and we all want to try to fix it and stop it from happening. But we want you to know that the grown-ups in your life are really working hard to make you safe. And if you feel unsafe at any time going somewhere, talk to someone you trust and express your feelings because they want you to feel as safe as possible.
For everybody who's ever played with toy boats in the bathtub, you know the problem that's being had in the Suez Canal right now, where a giant container ship accidentally floated sideways and got wedged in there. And they've been working for about 6 days so far to get that thing out so that some ships can go through. And here's the problem. There's the Suez Canal. If you can't make it through there, you got to go all the way around there. Is a real bummer if you own a shipping company.
Did you know that cows fart a lot? And when they fart and burp, actually, they emit a gas called methane, which is a planet heating gas, which is kind of bad for our environment, and it makes our planet get hotter. And so researchers have found that a small amount of seaweed, if they put it into the feed of their cattle and the cows eat it, it lowers the emission of methane gases, and that actually helps our planet in the long term. So it helps them fart and burp less, which is kind of funny.
All right, teenagers are coming for me and Tori's job because they are making books more popular than we ever could. On TikTok, teens are making short videos about books they loved and especially books that made them cry. And then those books' sales are going through the roof. So for instance, one book called Song of Achilles, which won an award in 2012, is now selling 9 times as many copies after a person made a video about how much that book made them cry at the end. So if you're looking for your next great read and you already love TikTok, try out BookTok.
Since we've been talking about some really serious topics lately, today's big deal is a little bit more fun. We are highlighting kids being awesome. So kids making a difference or doing great things, setting world records, just to highlight kids like you.
Exactly. And if you're bored and you're trying to figure out something to do, maybe have you thought about making the world a better place, just fixing all of this? Our first kid, for instance, is Chelsea Fair, who is 11 years old. And Chelsea wanted to get foster kids to do art to help them deal with their trauma and deal with hard things in their life. So, that's awesome.
Another amazing kid is Atharva Arbat, an 8-year-old from India who just set a Guinness World Record by solving 3 Rubik's Cubes at the same time, 2 using his hands and then 1 with his feet. in 1 minute and 29.97 seconds.
8-year-old Haley Orlinsky protected frontline workers as soon as she heard that people were having trouble with masks. She got out there and started making friendship bracelets that she sold so that she could raise money to give people PPE. Also, 11-year-old Taryn Tien plays music. He's a busker, which is a person who plays music outside, and he raises money for all sorts of different causes, including local food banks and International Rescue Committee.
That's amazing. I heard a lot of great stories on my social media about kids in Kitsap County using their birthdays to raise money for like the Kitsap Humane Society, or instead of getting presents, they get dog toys or dog food or cat food, and then they donate that to the Humane Society as well. So that's kind of the same thing in our local area.
Yeah, see, I love that because you don't have to like be a super genius and create like an app that saves the world. You just have to use what you have to do what you can. All right, and now for an all-new segment called Adults Do the Strangest Things.
So recently, a guy bought a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal and then found some shrimp tails coated in some cinnamon sugar and called out the company on his Twitter saying, "Hey, what's up with this?" The company came back saying that, "Oh, maybe that's just some weird shaped cereal pieces." And he was like, "Oh, they're definitely not." And so the conversation got even weirder. And, adults just do strange things on both ends here.
Right? Because shrimp tails and cinnamon sugar clusters look the same. Right here in Washington, adults do the strangest things because the police closed an investigation about a missing 400-pound playground slide. The slide had been stolen, and Pasco Police Department said last month that they found the slide mounted to a child's bunk bed in Burbank. So the dad stole the slide from the playground and stuck it on his kid's bed. Adults are weird. Weird. This is why we can't have nice things. Thank you for watching News Kids Can Use, the show about all the weird, wacky, and straight up strange things that have been making your grown-ups freak out about the news lately. We hope you enjoyed the show.
We'll be back in 2 weeks. I'm Tori Ogawa.
I'm Emin Rogers.
And I'm going to go have a bowl of cereal, and hopefully there are no shrimp tails.